Hi Naptime friends, it's Tish with Naptime Creations. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be making these coasters with resin and artisan pigments. Here's a little sneak peek of how they turned out. Super pretty. So stick around if you want to see how I made these coasters. It's super easy, and even a beginner can do it. It's super simple, so we'll get started. And don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time watching. So the pigments I used are artisan pigments, and you can get these off of Amazon. I used copper, Shiraz, and violet. I also used my Stone Coat Countertops white base tint and Marron gold. I didn't film the part of mixing up the resin and all the different colors in this video, but I will link a video showing how I do that below in the description, so check that out if you want to see exactly how to mix up resin and how much pigment to add and how much white base tint to add. So I'm going in now with my white base tint, as you can see, and just putting some on each of the coasters. I try to go for 1 ounce total of all the colors on each coaster, so you don't need a whole lot of resin for these guys. I found in my experience 1 ounce is enough for the coaster. So just go in with your finger and smooth it all out. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to add different colors on top of this. So just smooth it out and then you'll be ready for the next step. This is Color Obsession Aquamarine epoxy pigment paste. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. If you're looking for an opaque teal color, this is it. It's really pretty. It's super pigmented and opaque. I think it would be really awesome in an ocean pour. I'm going to try that one of these days. So as you can see, I just basically went in and made a little circle on each of the coasters, kind of like a big oval. And now I'm going to go in on these two and pour on some of the Shiraz, just a little stripe right in the middle on each one. Now I'm going to go in with the artisan copper and just do a little line on each one again. Now I'm going to be adding some of the violet, and same thing, just right in the middle of that little oval that we made, and a little bit of the copper on top of that violet. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of the Marron gold, and this Marron gold is a pigment powder as well. It's actually a makeup powder, but it works really good in resin, and you can get this off of Amazon. And with the Marron gold, I just went in with my popsicle stick and made a little circle around the colors that we just added. Now it's time for heat. I'm going to go in with my heat gun and add a little bit of heat to each one of these just to warm the resin up a little bit and get it more easier to swipe. And now we're ready to swipe. So what I'm doing is just grabbing a piece of wax paper and I'm putting it kind of in the middle on each side and then swiping outward to the corner of the coaster. And you can use wax paper to swipe, you can use freezer paper, just anything that's kind of, with resin, you know, it's super sticky, so wax paper works best for me, but I've seen people use ribbon, all kinds of stuff to swipe, so it's really up to you what you want to try. And then when you're done swiping and you have a little bit of resin left on the edge of your swiping paper, you can just take it and add it to the side of your coaster there, just to give it a little bit of extra coverage. And then you're not wasting any resin. I hate to waste resin. See, when you're done swiping, you just have that little bit of resin on there. You just add it to the edges, just to make sure, you know, the edges are good and covered. It's always a bummer when you're doing resin on coasters and then everything looks great. You go to take the tape off and there's a tiny little part on the edge where there's no resin. And when you do your swipe, make sure there's contact across the top of the wax paper. If there's not, you can just take your finger and kind of push it down and make sure that you can see the resin through the wax paper. You can see right here. See how you can see the resin through the wax paper? You just want to make sure it looks like that before you swipe and it's nice and even. So that way your wax paper is going to go nice and easy across there. Now I'm going to go in with Maroon Gold and add a few lines. And when you do this, you kind of want to start off of your project and then get your line going and draw it. When you do line work, you want to make sure you're going at a quick, even pace because if you don't, your line can get wobbly, and it depends on what type of look you're going for. This is just kind of like finishing stuff where I'm just adding a little bit of gold, and then I'm going to hit it with my heat gun a tiny, tiny bit, but not too much. And I'm just following the natural line of what's already there and just adding a line or two just to give it a little bit of extra gold. I love everything gold and metallic. Now I'm just going in with my heat gun and I'm going to be popping any bubbles and just blending these gold lines a little bit. Now I'm just going in with extra resin and making sure all those edges are covered. I cut a lot of this out, but I actually spent like 7 or 8 minutes doing this. So just take the time when you're doing these and, you know, add the resin to the edges, make sure they're all covered, and you can even dip your finger onto the wax paper and pick up the drips like I'm doing and dab it on there. Just want to make sure all the edges are covered. But can you see all the cells starting to pop up on these already? They're starting to look pretty cool. Now I'm going to bring you guys in for a close-up. I think these kind of look like koi fish, the ones with the Shiraz copper and the gold. But you can see the cells starting to pop through. And that's the Stone Coat Countertops white base tint. That's what's going to give you these cells like this. It's an oil-based product, and the oil base is what makes it sell up or give you that lacing. This one's really pretty too. I like the wispiness of the gold. It looks like seaweed or something. It's really hard to capture the beauty of resin. It's kind of like you have to see it in real life once to really know that how cool it is, because everything in real life is so much more vibrant and shimmery. This is the one that really looks like a koi fish to me anyway. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you're having a great day. I'll see you on Wednesday for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.